Hello, welcome or welcome back. I do hope you're doing well. Y'all seem to enjoy my last Reddit advice video, which is really good. Thank you so much for the feedback. So I thought we would do another one today. Let's get straight into it. My husband video records me at my worst moments. My husband likes to record everything. He often takes video clips throughout his day, even at work, but it bothers me that he takes them of me at my worst moments when I'm crying or naked having a conversation with him. Many times he's taken video when we're arguing and narrates the video saying that I'm drunk when I'm clearly not, or doing something that I'm not really doing. This seems like an issue. I'm not concerned about anybody seeing them other than I'm naked in some. He would just look crazy if he showed somebody because it's just him narrating things that aren't really happening. He says he hasn't shared these with anybody, but it makes me feel uncomfortable and I've told him this. It makes me feel sad that he would want to take videos of me when I'm crying, naked and emotionally vulnerable. I don't understand why he would do this. He always threatens to use them against me, but I don't feel like there's anything in them he could use against me or that I care, other than I feel it's strange and not right that he narrates them saying I'm doing something that I'm not. I've always felt like this is a huge red flag and seems really strange. Any thoughts or advice would be appreciated, thanks, or would be great, thanks. You didn't ask a question, but you are just asking for thoughts. That's really fucking weird. This guy has an issue. Even if he wasn't using them to threaten you, it would be very concerning, really inappropriate, like something that he should probably fucking be in therapy for. But the fact that he's then threatening to use them against you, so he is actually doing it maliciously, or at least part of the motivation is malicious, I think that's completely not okay. That's a horrible, disgusting thing to do to somebody. So I don't think that this is healthy. I don't think that anybody should have to be put up to that. What advice do I have for you? I always say I don't like just saying yeah, leave the person, but this is a serious fucking issue. He should be going to therapy for that because it's not okay. There's clearly something going on there. Yeah, not cool. Next. My boyfriend asked for citizenship the same day he asked to marry me. So my boyfriend, who's a 30-year-old male, and I, who am a 31-year-old female, have been dating since last July. Girl, not long at all, barely even a year. We met on an online dating app where he messaged me first and set a date right away, okay? Things were good and he obviously told me he was in the States on a student visa. I was hesitant at first, given that I already have a child of my own and only wanted to have a relationship with someone who I could build a stable future with. He's been the first and only boyfriend that I've introduced to my son, and they get along great. I was so happy because my son loves him and my boyfriend does treat him well. Why have you fucking put this next part in code? Fast forward to now, my boyfriend is from Thailand, and at the end of last year, he said he needs to go back home to renew his visa and wanted me to go with him to meet his family. We made the trip in March and things were still okay. I met his family and they were all nice. On our third day trip to Phuket, I don't know how to pronounce it, on the next trip to Phuket, which he paid for himself for just the two of us, he asked me to marry him. I got caught in the moment and said yes. It was a very emotional moment for me, as it has been my dream to get married and build a family. But then I got sad because I realised he never talked to my parents about asking to marry me, which I specified to him in the early stages of dating that in my culture, asking the daughter's hand in marriage is a big thing. He also didn't ask any advice from my friends or told them about it either, so it felt like my friends and family were left out and he only included his. I also started feeling like things were a bit rushed because, again, he hadn't graduated school yet. He graduates in June, had no job, and we had been dating for less than a year. Yeah, but you said yes, so you can't really criticise him for proposing too early when you said yes. Well, to make things worse, that same night he told me he wanted to talk to me about something and proceeded in asking for me to file papers for him to get his citizenship. He obviously saw the look of shock on my face and started telling me that I didn't have to worry about the money or the filing because he would take everything. He said he wanted to be able to find a job so he can provide for me and my son and give us a good life. I gave him the ring back and told him I just wasn't ready and needed to think about things. I'm so confused as to what I should do. Should I follow my gut feeling and just end the relationship? I don't want to be used, and ever since then my feelings for him have changed, and now I have a wall built up. I don't want to be with someone who wants to use me, especially since now my son is involved, which is what makes me more anxious because my son really likes my boyfriend and is always asking about him. He's even mentioned to me that he doesn't want me to break up with him. What do you guys think? I think clearly there's something else going on here that you would have that doubt. I think that if you were completely secure, because what we're essentially saying here is this guy using you to get citizenship in the country where you live? You haven't explicitly said that, but that's what you're implying, is that you think this guy's using you to get citizenship by marrying you. I think that if you were confident that that wasn't the case, that wouldn't even cross your mind, it wouldn't even be a question, it wouldn't even be an issue. But clearly, it's something that you're thinking about. And I think it doesn't matter whether he spoke to your family or your friends or not. I think a lot of people don't, but I understand how you say, like, hey, in my culture this is important, so I get that you're a little bit like, oh, well, I specifically said to him and he didn't do it. But I think even if he'd done all that, the point is that he then is immediately asking for citizenship, and it's a little bit suspicious. Do you know what I mean? I think that if you were totally in it together, and it would just be like, yeah, sure, that totally makes sense, why not do it? We do it eventually, yeah, let's fuck it, apply for citizenship as well. But the fact that you're immediately going to, oh, is he then using me? And now you're saying my feelings have completely changed for him. Well, if your feelings have already completely changed, why are you even asking this question? You already know you want to break up with him. And of course, you can't stay with someone just because your child likes them. That's not a factor. Like, I understand not wanting to just bring people into your child's life willy-nilly, absolutely. But it doesn't mean that you can't equally remove someone from your life unless it's like their parent. Do you know what I mean? So I think that it's already over, personally. Whether or not I think he is using you is completely besides the point. You think that he is, and things aren't going to be the same. So there. Next. Husband said I don't do anything. My husband works full time. He's a technician. It's a tiring job and works all day. I'm a stay-at-home mum for 3 kids. Youngest is 3. He told me this morning I do nothing to contribute / do nothing at all. It really killed me to hear that, because there are just some of the things I consist of doing. Because here are just some of the things I do, for the record. It doesn't really matter, but okay. I help with everything and anything he needs, even in the blazing sun. I do normal mom stuff. Cooking, cleaning, laundry. I mow the yard, which we have 2 acres of, take care of the 5 dogs. Clean the yard, fixed our well yesterday. I continue to help him with the cleaning and flood stuff. In the morning, he doesn't set alarms. He expects me to wake him up because he's a fucking child. And every morning he gets mad if I accidentally miss my alarm. That's pathetic. He refuses to get his own work clothes. I have to set it out for him. I have to literally do everything except work. And I expect that being a stay-at-home mum, I accept that. Oh my God. Being a stay-at-home mum, but I'm not going to be told I don't do anything. He's a great dad and husband. Is he? But him saying that, I don't know, what do y'all think? Am I overreacting? Could I be doing more? Bitch, no, this guy's pathetic. He doesn't even set his alarm. He doesn't even get his own clothes out of the wardrobe. That's fucking pathetic. Turning around and saying you don't do anything, like, I think even if you didn't do anything else at all, the fact that you have to wake up this grown-ass fucking adult and take out his clothes for him, or else he can't get dressed, that's pathetic. That's my thought on the situation. Could you be doing more? You could always be doing more, but the question is, should you be doing more? Do you know what I'm saying? I don't think you're overreacting. I think that the guy's a fucking asshole, personally. What the fuck do you tell someone when their life genuinely sucks? My best friend is the sweetest girl on this earth. I've known her for 5 years, and I'm being so honest when I say there is nothing she's done wrong to ever hurt anyone else in the entire time I've known her. She's just not that kind of person. She's studying to be a nurse right now. She loves kids, she's friendly, she sticks up for me, she's smart, the list goes on. She was born into a really abusive family and was placed into foster care at 3 years old, so her life has been pretty bad since. She's had multiple suicide attempts now, and at 19, she's engaged to a terrible guy. She got into a car accident and totaled her car a few months ago after pulling over to help a lost man, who then tried to rob her with a gun and chased her. She's miscarried before. She has no family besides her abusive mum and little brother and me. Recently, she tried to take in some homeless friends and they stole $3,000 from her and dipped. She had COVID last week, was just in the hospital for severe allergic reaction. Literally every bad thing that can happen to her has happened. She keeps asking me why these bad things keep happening to her, why people keep taking advantage of her, why she could deserve this, and she hasn't done anything, and I don't have an answer. It's so fucking unfair. It's like she's just tied to misfortune, and I can't even pretend she's not. There's no upside to any of the situations she's been in. I never know what to tell her. What the fuck do you say to someone when their life just genuinely sucks? I think it's not a case of like, what do you say to her? I think it's like, what do you do for her? You be there for her, you comfort her, you empathize with her. And I think sometimes, like, people don't always want to be cheered up. People don't always want to be told, oh, well, think about the positive side of things. Oh, you've got this, you've got that, blah, blah, blah. Because that just basically amounts to stop being so fucking ungrateful. Sometimes people want to hear that they're not imagining things and they want to hear, yeah, gosh, that fucking sucks. I don't know what I would do in your situation. It doesn't help them knowing what to do next, but it helps them feeling like, okay, it's not just me. Things really are bad. Like, it just somehow makes them feel better. Do you know what I mean? That it's not just them. And that someone else is acknowledging that, yeah, they've got a lot on their fucking plate right now. So, yeah, I don't think it's about what you say to her. I think it's about what you do for her and how you be there for her. Even just sometimes saying like, gosh, like, that sounds awful. What can I do for you? You don't have to make it up for yourself. You don't have to know already. Just ask her, what can I do for you? So maybe she'll say, well, I don't know, can you maybe help me with this? Can you help me with that? Do you have any advice for me? Or maybe she says, you know what? You're already doing more than enough. You're just being here for me. You're being a good friend to me, and that's all I need right now. Don't do anything different. Do you know what I mean? But yeah, that does suck. It sounds like she's been fucking through it. That's a shame. Next, I pretend I'm poor around my friends. Then I have reason to believe that you're not really friends. So for some context, my family owns several businesses and we all do very well and live very comfortably. We have a large, beautiful house with an amazing pool. I'm very, very grateful for what I have and recognise that I'm very privileged. My bills are always paid, I have a great car, my college tuition is paid off, and I have shopping money. All of my childhood friends come from super low income families. I never tried to flaunt my family's wealth, but the difference quickly became super apparent when they didn't have money while we were shopping or going out to eat while I would. I would be more than happy to buy them food or a shirt that they really wanted. However, they grew very used to this and started asking to go on trips, expensive dinners, buy expensive clothes, and always expecting me to pay up for everything. That sucks. This made me super uncomfortable, but I always did it. My family always told me that they're using me for my money, and whether that's true or not, it always ruined all of my friendships. Others would mention things like I'm not a charity case and get insulted when I would offer to pay for one of their meals. This made things super awkward and uncomfortable. To avoid unintentionally making them feel bad about their family not having money, I stopped. Money has always been a huge issue. They always express how uncomfortable they've been around my family and in my house. Money has always been a huge issue in my friendships. That sounds like their fucking problem and not yours, to be honest. I then moved to college and made some really great friends there. I still have my family's money that they so kindly helped pay for my college with, and I appreciate them more than anything. However, my friends on the other hand live paycheck to paycheck and struggle to even buy food sometimes. They always talk to each other about never having money and not being able to afford car payments. They also joke a lot about being poor, and it's a topic they relate to each other about. I got super worried about money driving a wedge into these friendships, so I would always play along. I would talk about things being too expensive, having to work so much. I do have a job and pay for some of my own things, and not having money. I pay for their food here and there, and I always say, oh, I got paid this week so I can buy us dinner. When in reality, I always could regardless of my paycheck. They have no idea about how much money I actually have. I feel like friends would never realise how much money my family has until they came to my house. They would always be super shocked because I just never talked about it, and as kids, money wasn't really that big of a topic. I know it sounds bad and like I'm cosplaying as a poor person. I also recognise that it's not even my money. My mum and I are super close and she insists on giving me all her money even though I work to get my own money and try and pay for some of my own things. Now it's becoming apparent to them that I actually might have money. I have a great new SUV and live in a beautiful apartment. I try to address it and be like, oh, my family lives comfortably and I'm grateful for what I have. And they give me side eyes. Bitch, who are you to judge me because my parents are good to me? That's not cool. Projection. I feel horrible for lying to them. I tried to keep my school life and my life at home separate. However, I would also love for them to come hang out and swim at my house at my hometown, which is 40 minutes from my college. I don't want them to find out and feel weird, uncomfortable, and lied to about the money I have. I also feel so awful for lying to them. I'm kind of at a loss. What would I even tell them? You are lying to them, so you should feel bad for lying to them. However, I understand where it comes from, and I agree with your parents that your previous friends have just been using you for your money. Maybe it didn't start out that way, but it certainly ended that way, and it still shows you the kind of people that they are, which is not your real friends. So I understand why that would put you off from telling anyone or like hinting to anyone or showing anyone the money that you have. But that doesn't mean that you need to then actively lie about it and play this game of, yeah, I don't have any money either. Yeah, I'm also broke, can't afford my payments. Like, that's just, like, it's wrong. And it's, like, in a way, really patronizing to be like, yeah, I can just pretend that I don't have money and pretend that I know what you're going through when I fucking don't. So I think you should feel bad for lying. But then what do you do to get out of the situation? Like, I think, you know, your friends being like super salty about the fact that you or your parents have money, your family have money, is like, that's not your fault. That's nothing for you to feel bad or guilty about. Their reaction is on them. Like, that's not okay. And giving you side eyes because you have a nice apartment and say like, oh, my family have just been really good to me, like, that's not your fault. Again, that's not something that you should feel ashamed of, and it's not something that they should be nasty to you about. It would be different if you were a spoiled ass bitch and you were like, no, I'm not ever getting a job because my family will just do this for me, my family will do that, and then you expected everyone in your life to give you things. That would be completely different. But if you're just like, hey, my family have a lot of money and they are really good to me with it, and I'm super grateful for that, but that doesn't mean I'm not going to get a job and earn my own way, then that's great. I don't see anything wrong with that at all. What do you even tell them? How do you get yourself out of this situation? I would just slowly introduce the idea into their minds. Just be like, yeah, well, my family paid for this, and yeah, my family are good to me, because it's the truth, you know? Yeah, they like started giving me money for this kind of stuff and whatever, and like, oh, they're paying for my college tuition, so actually I'm able to like save up a bit more money and stuff like that. And then I would eventually, like when it gets to the point where you want to take them to your family home, just be really honest and be like, yeah, obviously, like I do have my own, like I have my own job, I work and everything like that, but to be honest, my family have been helping me with money more than what I initially let on. And the reason I didn't want to tell you is because I've been taken advantage of in the past. But we're at the point now where I feel like we're really good friends, and I feel like I can tell you this. Like, I'm sorry that I lied to you. I hope you can understand. But because we're such good friends now, I just really wanted to be honest with you about it. Like, please forgive me for lying. That's the way I would approach it. And if they're like, I cannot believe you did this, oh my goodness, you are such a bad person, then they're not being very understanding of the situation. They're not being very empathetic about the fact of why you started doing that in the first place. Do you know what I mean? And equally, if they're like, oh, that's great, you know, whatever, blah, 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 and then they start using you, then girl, good that you told them, because now you know that they're also not your real friends, which fucking sucks. But I would rather have real friends, but not that many, than have like fake friends that I don't even realize they're fake friends. Do you know what I mean? So yeah, that's my advice. Is my girlfriend gaslighting me? Oops, sorry. My girlfriend messaged me around 7 saying that she was on her way home. We live together. Every time I called her, she was 20 minutes away and went somewhere different. By the time she got home, it was 10:30, 3.5 hours. She was with her friend and they had just left the bar. For some context, right before this, we had a huge failure to communicate. I got my daughter for the weekend and she got rid of hers, all of which happened last minute. Got rid of? That seems a bit fucking callous to say, just the way you word that. After we figured that out, she said, okay, I'm on my way. And after an hour and a half, and me calling her twice, she said she wanted to still go out and asked if I wanted her to come home. After that, there was no communication until I would call, and then she would say, oh, I stopped her. What? What are y'all talking about? No wonder there's a miscommunication. You're miscommunicating right now. I don't know what the fuck's going on. Anyway, then she would say, oh, I stopped her. It wasn't until 10 that I was like, dude. And then she showed up 30 minutes later with her girlfriend. I told her that it felt disrespectful. I don't know why I didn't just say, hey, I'm going out from the beginning. That's fair. And then she brings up how hard she worked and how there were times I'd smell alcohol on her and she didn't say anything. What? I'd smell alcohol on her and she didn't say anything? What does she need to say? What? Do you mean that she'd smell alcohol on you and didn't say anything? Girl, I'm like, I don't care about the alcohol. I'm just confused why, after 3 hours of saying I'm on my way, you ended up home after the bar. That's also fair. I tried to tell her that I think that looks weird from my perspective and she insists it just isn't and that I'm overacting, trying to create a fake fight. Any advice, please? I don't think she's gaslighting you. I just think that you're shit at communicating. I do think that if she wanted to go out, she just could have said, I'm going to go out anyway, like I just want to. This was already planned, I'm going to go out. If you wanted her to stay at home, you should have said explicitly, oh, I would kind of prefer it if you stay at home, would you mind? Which, to be fair, I don't really think is fair. She already fucking had plans, not her problem. But also, I do think it's really shit if she did in fact say, yeah, I'm on my way home, and then didn't come home until 3.5 hours later. But I suspect, just from the way that you've written this post and you're communicating with us, I suspect that the two of you just were completely not on the same fucking page from the very beginning, and that's why this like got messed up. I don't think either of you are trying to do anything wrong. I just think that this was just a fuck up of communication, to be honest. So unless she's done things in the past that make you specifically think that she's gaslighting you, move on, to be honest. Last one, keys. Oh, so dramatic. Keys. I need some advice on a situation to see how to deal with it. My mother recently asked for my house keys back because I'm moving out soon. So you're moving out soon and she wants the keys back already? Or that she said, by the way, when you move out, can I have my keys back? She said that the reason why she wants the key back is that she can have her privacy, which I get, but I still want to have my key just in case I need to get inside the house whenever I need to. We're going back and forth on this, so any advice? Yeah, it's your mum's fucking house, you're going to move out. It's your mum's decision if she wants someone who doesn't live in her own home to have the key to her own home. You just saying, yeah, but I want to get inside sometimes. It's not going to be your house anymore. If you want to get inside the house sometimes, call your mum, ask her if you can come over. It's not that fucking big a deal. It's not this big dilemma. It's your mum's house. She has the right to decide who has her key. Like, she equally can't demand to you that you give her a key to your new place just because, well, I might want to drop by sometimes whenever I feel like it. No. This isn't even a question. This isn't a dilemma. This is you just deciding that you want to fucking do whatever you feel like, even when it's not your own house. Like, I'm with your mum on this one. This is stupid, honestly. Like, I would understand if your mum was like, no, it's fine, like, this will always be your home, keep your key, I don't mind. But I even more understand her being like, well, actually, if you're not going to be living here anymore, I want to be able to just go about and do my own thing, mind my own business in my own house and not have to worry about you showing up. Because it's completely different living by yourself and living with another person. Like, it's different. And if you know that someone else could walk in on you doing whatever it is you're doing at any fucking point in time, that's not okay. Like, that doesn't feel all right for everybody. For some people it might, and that's up to them, that's their decision, if they're the one who live in that house and or own that house. But if you don't, that's not your place to decide. That's not up for you to say. So yeah, fucking give your mum her key back. End of. That's it. That seemed like kind of a short one. I did pick out what, like 6 or 7, but they were quite quick ones today. What did y'all think about that? I do hope that you enjoyed this episode. As I said in my last video of Am I the Asshole, this will be the last video that I'm recording on this channel for a good while, because next week, like not this coming week, but just over a week, in 9 days actually, I'm going to be having double jaw surgery. So I won't be able to talk for quite a while, therefore I won't be making videos for this channel. So I do hope that you enjoyed this last video for a while. Of course, you can go and check out some of my other videos while I'm taking a break. Thank you so much for joining me. I do hope you enjoyed the episode. Take very good care, and until next time, bye, 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 bye.